Greg Branos here for the Coachspeak Index. Yes. Week 4. Cannot wait to wake up at 6 a.m. on Sunday for this Dublin game. I still cannot believe that the NFL is playing a game in Ireland and Lad McConkey is not involved. Obviously, the Rooney family has to be involved, but not to have the wee laddie out there on the other side. Huge oversight by the schedule makers. Ireland, by the way, well, first of all, beautiful country. Maybe the best trip of my life was to Galway there. Beautiful. But very underrated name for a country. The land of ire. Angry land. Big, mad, online land. I always thought that the Incredible Hulk should be Irish. You know, big, green, pissed off. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, laddie. Is that a hate crime if you do an Irish accent and it comes off as a terrible Scottish accent? Anyway, Marvel Comics, you know what to do. The people want an Irish/Scottish Hulk, and they want him to fight the Jolly Green Giant to the death. We want to see it. And you know who I'd like to fight, actually, is anyone who is not playing on Underdog Fantasy. I'm kidding. I don't really want to fight you, but I am squinting my eyes at you like, come on, man. What are you doing not being on Underdog? Okay, if drafting fantasy teams is your thing, there's plenty of that. I'm in the Dog Bowl streets trying to punch my ticket to Kansas City for a big old bag of money. If you like pick'ems, Underdog has about 1 million of those. And I got a little QR code here. But I always mess up the direction when I'm trying to point. Bottom left-hand corner of your screen, QR code there, get you up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick'em. Also a link in the description. For the audio listeners, let's talk about a literal handful of players here. Pulling up some stuff from the Coachspeak Index Discord, which is the most valuable resource in all of fantasy football. And QR code for that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Link in the description. Get in there with 1,500 other people who have an edge on you right now. Let's talk about a couple running backs first. Miami Dolphins. Jalen Wright officially dead for fantasy football. May as well not even exist because it is Ollie Gordon who is the RB2 in Miami now. And this is what Mike McDaniel had to say about Gordon on Monday. I see a young player that has risen to every challenge. He continues to work. He definitely helped us in a variety of ways. Last week, he's done a good job. He's going to continue to be challenged in a multitude of ways. And the more that he can own the variety of assignments, alignments, responsibilities, the more we can involve him and have him in the game, not just on run plays or play action plays. It's one step at a time for him. This is still going to be a lot of Devon Achane, especially in the passing game. But if you go to the Miami Dolphins thread in the Coachspeak Index Discord and you just search for Ollie Gordon, there has been a steady progression of how positively the Miami coaching staff speaks of Ollie Gordon. And you can do the same thing and look for Jalen Wright. And it is very different how they talk about these two running backs. The day after Gordon got 9 carries and a rushing touchdown against the Buffalo Bills, Mike McDaniel said that Ollie's play last night ensures to me that we will have a highly productive RB2 as well as a highly productive RB1. So long-term outlook for Ollie Gordon looking pretty good there. Again, just go to the Coachspeak Index Discord, go into that Miami Dolphins thread, and just search Gordon. And you'll find all kinds of stuff that they've been saying about him. It is definitely trending upwards for his long-term trajectory. Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn was asked on Monday whether he would prefer to have a main running back or is he okay with a split. And Quinn said, I am comfortable with the shared. Balance is what's important to me. If there are runners that have unique skills, we can feature that. But having balance is what makes an offense most difficult to defend. Sometimes it works itself out after a little bit of time. Whether it stays this way, we'll keep digging and finding our way. But I am comfortable sharing the responsibility. Sometimes the guy gets hot and feels it, and we'll lean into that too. Here was the snap percentages for the Commanders running backs in week 3 in Washington's first week without Austin Eckler. Bill Croskey-Merritt, 40%. Chris Rodriguez, 38%. Jeremy McNichols, 26%. You cannot start any of these guys confidently right now, but that doesn't mean that you should cut bait, especially on Bill Croskey-Merritt. Quinn expressed this openness to pivoting away from this shared workload that we saw in week 3, which means that Croskey-Merritt or one of these other guys could potentially separate themselves and force the Commanders into giving them a 60 or 70% share of the backfield. That is unlikely to be Jeremy McNichols, who is more of a passing down back. It's tough to see Chris Rodriguez standing out head and shoulders above his competition. Croskey-Merritt, though, has some real juice, so maybe he gets more touches as he gets into the flow of this offense, into the flow of the NFL game, and maybe he ends up establishing himself as this kind of clear RB1 type in Washington. I would say it's probably unlikely he becomes a workhorse in his rookie year, but I could see him getting to that 60 or 70% snap share if he really just starts balling out, and that would make him a startable option in fantasy. Talk a couple wide receivers here. First is the big one everybody's been talking about. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars and Travis Hunter. Head coach Liam Cohen stated on Wednesday that injuries at wide receiver or cornerback don't really affect Travis Hunter because he is locked into one position on offense, one position on defense, and that one position on offense, by the way, is the F receiver or the slot receiver. And Hunter being locked into a slot role is not new information. Cohen told us over a month ago that Hunter is their slot receiver. This is both a good and bad thing. It's good because Liam Cohen has made a point of featuring the F receiver in his offenses, Cooper Kupp in Los Angeles, and then Chris Godwin in Tampa Bay. Jacksonville is running 11 personnel at a 71% rate. That's top 9 in the league. It's 9th in the league, so that's good. But Hunter being locked in solely as an F receiver is also bad if he is not the only guy playing that spot. And as Jacob Sanderson pointed out on Twitter, we have seen Parker Washington play some F so far this season. Travis Hunter's route participation was 76% in week 1, then 57% in week 2, 58% in week 3. Weeks 2 and 3 were close games, so that is even more concerning when you factor that in. The real killer here for Travis Hunter is that Trevor Lawrence stinks, and this passing attack stinks. According to Scott Barrett of Fantasy Points, Trevor Lawrence led all quarterbacks in 2022, 2023, and 2024 in first read throw rate with 75%, 77.3%, and 76.1% respectively. Through 3 games in 2025, Trevor Lawrence's first read throw rate is a career high 79.6%. He has a league low 57.2 passer rating when targeting his first read. He also has a 26.1 passer rating when targeting Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. So if we know that Trevor Lawrence is out there throwing to his first read 4 out of every 5 times, then certainly every defense that he is playing against is also aware of this. Liam Cohen said on Wednesday that they want to continue to get Travis Hunter in space like they did on that one catch in week 3, where he was able to make multiple defenders miss and then rip off a 21-yard gain. So maybe we get some more schemed up touches there for Travis Hunter. Maybe eventually we get some downfield throws for a guy that's a ball hawk. But even then, we have to rely on a quarterback who is bottom 10 and catchable throw rate on passes beyond 10 yards. I would have a lot more confidence in Travis Hunter becoming fantasy relevant if we had league average quarterback play in Jacksonville. But that is not the case. Let's go to Vegas and talk about Tre Tucker. Tucker's involvement in the Raiders' offense has come as a bit of a surprise to pretty much everyone. He has run a route on 92% of dropbacks. He's been targeted 20 times through 3 games. He has all 4 of Las Vegas' receiving touchdowns. And here is what head coach Pete Carroll said about Tre Tucker this week. Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers really do all the dirty work underneath and inside and out. Tre Tucker can do that, but he's really the guy that gets up top and he can get across the football field. We've been seeing him do it in practice, and now that it's happening in the games, it's a real joy to watch the guy just blossom like that. He's just getting started. Quote, I think we've discovered some really great ways to get him the football and things that he can do really well. So we hope to keep making that a problem for our opponent. End quote. If you'll remember back to training camp and the preseason, it was rookie wideout Dante Thornton who was getting buzz for running with the ones and his preseason usage. But this is what Pete Carroll had to say about Thornton in this same press conference this week when he was asked how he can utilize Thornton's speed more. Carroll said, Geno Smith really almost forced the ball to him at times in the preseason just to get him going and to try to give him more opportunities. He has a very limited background. He caught 60-something balls in his college career. We're just trying to find his game and to make sure to zero in on what he does well. If you are in the CSI Discord, you have seen all the previous stuff that Pete Carroll said about Dante Thornton. And it was this very clear picture of Geno Smith is a great deep ball thrower, and Thornton has all the speed, but the connection has not been there, mainly because Thornton is so raw. So we'll just keep plugging away at this in practice to see if we can make it click. The bottom line here is that I think Tre Tucker is here to stay in this Chip Kelly offense. That is a valuable role when we're talking about a guy with blazing 4.4 speed who is attached to one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. Tre Tucker was this cardio king in 2024. His metrics looked terrible because he was just running clear out routes. In retrospect, those lack of targets probably had to do more with an inept offense and a pair of quarterbacks who aren't, they're just not good downfield passers. Probably has to do more with that than, Tre Tucker just can't earn targets. He's earning targets this year. Again, 20 through 3 games here. And I don't think it's just some, quick blip on the fantasy radar. Finally, let's talk about a tight end. Los Angeles Chargers rookie tight end Oronde Gadsden got his first run of the season in week 3. Only ran 15 routes, but he was targeted on 7 of them, catching 5 passes for 46 yards. Head coach Jim Harbaugh said in his Wednesday press conference that it just really shows you how if you don't like where you're at on the depth chart today, you can change that. And he did that. He's going to be in there more, and he earned that. Harbaugh also stated that I just had the feeling. I've been to this movie a few times, and there's more good to come. Harbaugh used this same I've been to this movie a few times line in a July 25th press conference when talking about Oronde Gadsden. I posted a screenshot today on Twitter and Blue Sky that include everything of note that Harbaugh said about Gadsden in that presser, and probably the most notable comment was Harbaugh saying that Gadsden doesn't need to be some great blocker in order to get playing time, which you don't usually hear from a head coach when they're talking about a tight end. Jim Harbaugh said that if Gadsden is a really good pass catcher who gets separation and gets open, that is enough to put him on the football field. Harbaugh also said that he thinks Gadsden will be a really good pass catcher and a good blocker. If Gadsden is available in your league, scoop him up, hold on to him for a little bit. He may not turn into a weekly starter for you, but there is a possibility of that. And he offers quite a bit of upside if he does become that kind of guy who you would want to start weekly or, fill in during these bye weeks. All right, cool. That is it for today. I'm going to get back to grinding these press conferences for everyone who's in that CSI Discord. I'll talk to y'all next week, or I'll see y'all online, or I'll see you in Dog Bowl drafts on Underdog Fantasy. Sarah, take us out. Nope, wrong one. Sarah, take us out.